Hello, and welcome to another edition of Sun Dragon Tips and Tricks. I'm Rebecca. I'm the owner of Sun Dragon Art and Fiber in downtown Brevard, North Carolina, coming to you from my house on a very rainy Monday. So we're supposed to get a lot of rain this week. We will see how this goes. So I thought I would show you a technique I've been using in quite a few of my patterns recently. It's a slip purl. Now, many of you may be familiar with slip knit or some kind of decrease that on the right side will give you a decrease that leans in a certain direction. So I'm trying to think of how you're going to see this backwards from me. So a knit two together will lean like this direction when you're looking at the right side, and a slip knit will lean this direction. We'll go over it more in the drawings. If you're trying to decrease on the wrong side using your purl stitches, you've got to do either a purl two together, will look like a knit two together from the front side. And to get that slip knit, if you're having to decrease on the wrong side, you have to slip purl, which involves doing things in a knit-wise direction and then doing things with a purl stitch. Sounds complicated. It's a little complicated, but not if you break it down into steps, which is what we're going to do. And I will show you how I do it and things to help me keep on track. So let's get to it. All right. This is sometimes abbreviated as an Ssp decrease, a slip purl. As I was saying in the introduction, it is a left-leaning decrease. And what I mean by left leaning is it looks like it is leaning to the left when you see it on the right side, but it's done on the wrong side. So this is my little picture. And yeah, I should put in, here's the needle it's sitting on. This is the difference with a knit two together, or if you do it on the back side, a purl two together, how it looks from the front is it will look like it is leaning towards the right if you do a knit two together on the front or a purl two together on the back. If you do a slip knit, it changes the orientation of which stitch is going to end up in front, and it looks like it is leaning towards the left. This one's right leaning, this one is left leaning. To do that, if you happen to have to decrease on the back side, you need to do a slip purl. Now, there's a little bit more going on in a slip purl than a slip knit, believe it or not. So if you've done a slip knit, you just got to add a little bit to this. Last thing I'll say about this guy is it's really which stitch is laying on top. We have two stitches here that are going to get knit together. Let's say that the one on the left are orange and the one on the right are purple. When you do a knit two together, the one on the left crosses over, which makes that right leaning. The one on the left ends up on top. If we do the same thing over here with a slip knit or a slip purl, and I color code them the exact same way. The one on the right is purple, the one on the left is orange. When these guys combine, the right one ends up on top. And that is why they look like they're leaning in very different directions. It can give you a really clean look to have them paired together with decreases heading towards each other, looking like they're slanting on purpose. So here's how we're going to do this. It's a lot to keep track of, but just take it one step at a time. The first step is to slip two stitches individually, which means one at a time, knitwise to your right needle. Yes, I know we're doing a purl stitch, but it's actually very important to slip them knitwise. It changes your orientation. It moves things around. We're going to look at that in pictures in just a minute. Then you want to transfer or slip them back to the left needle in their new orientation. So no more twisting. Because believe it or not, slipping them knitwise will twist them. Well, again, we'll see it in the pictures. When they go back to the left needle, you want to purl these 2 stitches together through the back loop. That's really, really, really important. You're not going to do a normal purl stitch. You're going to purl them together through the back loop. And my trick to help this happen is your right needle, which is going to come over, needs to start in the back to the left of the second loop. So it needs to come way over. Let's look at what that looks like in pictures. So the same steps I wrote out over here that we might not be able to see anymore, we're going to talk about over here. Step 1 was to slip the 2 stitches individually knitwise. Slip the 2 stitches knitwise one at a time. This is the first one. So we have the first one that's being done here, and then we're going to have a second one. But knitwise, you're putting your needle in front to back through that front side of the loop, starting over on the left side, just like that, front to back, and sliding it over. You're going to do the same thing here. What I'd like you to notice, if we move this over a little bit, because here's what it's going to look like once it has been slipped. The normal orientation for a loop on the needle is that the right side, this is the right side of that loop, is in front. When you stick your needle in knitwise, they will move. So if you see over here, the left side of these stitches is now in front. The right side was in front over here. The left side is in front once they have each been slipped knitwise. Now, step 2 is to transfer them back. So these guys need to go back over straight without twisting. Let's add in a little bit of color coding here. Let's just stick with the colors that we have been using. I have a purple stitch and I have an orange stitch. And now they have moved over first just to get a new orientation on the needle. Now they need to go back. And when they go back, here's what they will look like. Now notice the difference between this stitch up here and this stitch down here. That same orange stitch is now situated on the needle differently. Now here's the thing, to do our step number 3, which is to purl 2 together through the back of the loop. Say front loop, back loop, it's through the back of the loop. So that's the side that's sitting away from us, not this front side. It means the needle needs to come around. Over here I wrote that you need to start with your right needle all the way over to the left of this second guy. So he needs to come over here and catch the back side of both of those loops. There's a way you can kind of fold the needles to almost be touching each other to do that. Can't really draw that. But if you get it in there right, here's what it's going to look like when you have it in there and you're ready to purl. Remember, to purl, your right needle comes back to front, and usually it's working with the front part of these loops, but we're asking you to work with the back side of the loops. So here's what it's going to look like. A little crazy, but once you get it in there, you can wrap your yarn around and do what needs to be done. So let's take a look at what's where in this. We have our orange guy And we have our purple guy. And we've caught the back side of both of those loops as we come in. The next part of the purl stitch, this working yarn is going to have to go up, over, and around this needle. Remember to do your purl stitch, and the needle has to duck back out again. Once we do that, this is what it's going to look like. It's going to look really funny from the back side once we have purled them together. But we're going to have our orange stitch and our purple stitch combined together. From the front, they will do the decrease they're supposed to. Let's take a look at it with real yarn. First of all, I wanted to show you what these decreases look like on the right side. This is a knit two together or a purl two together on the back side. This is a slip slip knit or a slip slip purl on the back side. So I'm about to do, let's flip us over to the back side here, a regular purl two together with the stitches oriented the correct way, with the right side of the stitch in front. See if I pull that apart, left side, right side. A regular purl two together would be just get your needle into the front side of both of those stitches, just like this. Wrap your yarn, duck it back under, and out it comes. And if we take a look, we have another right-leaning decrease where the stitch on the left is laying on top. Now let's do a slip slip purl. All right, here we go. One at a time. You want to slip one knitwise. That's like if I was going into knit. Here's my second one. Go in from front to back to knit and slide them over. So I have two stitches that I have changed the orientation on the needle from the right side being in front to the left side. Now I can do it one at a time, or I can move them both back together. I'm going to slide them back over. If you take a look, these are sitting at a different angle than these stitches are. Different side of the stitch is in front. I've got the left side in front instead of, like these, the right side. Now here is the part that might be a little trickier. I need to catch the back side of both of these loops. If I was going to purl two together normally, I'd come to the front. Not what I'm going to do. I need to start my needle way over here. I actually find sometimes if I need to, I can fold the needles to almost have them pointing the same direction so I can get this guy under there. Seeing from this angle might be a little funny, but if I can get him under there, I can settle him back. I need my needle to come over here, and if I need to, once I get it over there, I might have to fold these so they're running parallel to get my needle in, and then I can open them back up. That should look a little bit like the picture where I've caught the back side of both of these. I'm going to wrap my yarn. I'm going to do a duck and tuck out the back. I've caught both of these through the back loop and slide them off. It might look a little weird and bubbly until it settles. That's okay. If we turn it around, this was our purl two together. This is our slip slip purl. They're pointing towards each other, right? It might be hard to see that the right stitch is on top. When they settle more, it will become more apparent. Let's try that one more time without me explaining every single step or pausing too many times. Go in like you're going to knit. I know eventually we're going to purl. The brain is going to go, what the heck are you doing? Go in like you're going to knit and slide it. Take a second one. Go in like you're going to knit and slide it. Those twisted your stitches around. Now slide them back over to your left needle. Now we need to get our right needle all the way over here. Look at it from on top, all the way over there, and catch the back side of both of these loops Wrap your yarn to purl, duck under and away, backing out the way you came in and sliding them both off. If we take a look at the front side, we have now done this decrease twice. 1, 2. Let's do it one more time. I have 2 stitches left. What do you say? Slip one knitwise, slip the second one knitwise, stick your needle back in, your left needle back in straight so we can slide them back over. Get your right needle to the back side of these stitches to the left of that second stitch. Try to catch just the back side of those 2 stitches. Wrap your yarn around to complete a purl 2 together through the back loop and take them off. So again, these are all leaning this direction. They're leaning left. I have decreased 3 stitches there. There we go. We have all of these stitches. Let's see, this is the side I ended on. All of these were purl, slip, slip, purl. Catching it through the back loop is the key to making it look exactly opposite of a knit 2 together or purl 2 together, which is what this guy is over here. If you want it to slant that direction, this is what you got to do. Let me know if you have questions about that. It's kind of hard to show that angle of catching it, the back loop. Let me know if it would help to see it from a different angle, or if you would like to talk more about what I just did there, purling 2 together through the back loop. I'm thinking next week I'm going to try some crochet, the magic ring start to a crochet piece, like the top of a hat or the beginning of amigurumi is a really good technique to know. So let me know what else you'd like to see. At some point we will be returning to those life lessons from knit or crochet. Maybe something about slowing down, pacing yourself, just continuing on. We'll see. Consider subscribing if you haven't already to this channel. Let me know what other videos might be helpful. If you'd like, you can also support us monetarily over on Patreon. Any support you can give us, whether it's subscribing here or some kind of money, no matter how small, over on Patreon to support the work that we're doing at Sundragon, is appreciated. All of it is appreciated. And as I always like to say, may your crafting be filled with joy and confidence. We are here to keep you going. Let us know how we can do that. See you next week. Hi. Where were you hiding out while I was filming, huh? What's up? Oh, I think it's dinner time. Second dinner? Yeah, second dinner, huh? You think I never feed him?